Hello everybody, how are you doing? Today we're going to take a look at IELTS Writing Task 2, how to write a Band 9 essay. I'm going to show you exactly how you can get a Band 9 by showing you the vocabulary I use, the phrases I use, how to organize your answer, how to organize your paragraphs, and how to fully extend your answer and get a 7+. This one's really important, these ones, for your task achievement and coherence and cohesion. And these ones will get you your vocabulary mark. They will also help these phrases with your grammar. So let's take a look. So the question is, nowadays many people want to buy famous brands of clothes, cars, and other items. What are the reasons for this? Do you think it is a positive or negative development? Provide relevant examples where necessary and write at least 250 words. So we're going to do 260 words. And the beginning of this, I'm going to take this really slowly. And I know people like to rush through this, but I have to tell you again, like 90% of students that I see don't get the marks for the task achievement that they could if they went slowly. So I wrote this essay in about 20 minutes, but I went slowly in the beginning because if you don't go slowly and understand this and get this organization right, then you will lose your task achievement marks. So let me show you how to do it. I'm going to make sure you get your marks here so you don't waste your time. So first of all, I separated them into sections. That's right. Those are the 3 points we need to look at. Then I'm taking a look at the keywords, buying famous brands. What are the reasons? And is this positive or negative? Those are the key things I need to remember. I will remember the rest of it. I don't really need it. I just need these key ones, right? Buy famous brands, reasons, positive or negative. So organizing my essay, I look at this and I'm going to go, okay, my reasons are going to be in paragraph 1 and my positive or negative is going to be in paragraph 2. So immediately when I'm looking at this, people buy famous brands, I can immediately think there's a lot of easy things that I can say and explain that show it's a negative development. Now, maybe I think it's a positive development, but what I want to do in the essay is just go, what can I explain clearly and easily? You don't get marks for going, oh, I have a complicated, really high-level idea. No marks for that. We want to see a clear, clean explanation. That's what I'm looking for. So that's easy for me to do, so I chose that one. So now on your exam, when you circle reasons, and then you see this one, and you see there's 2 questions. So circle it and put a line, and then put P1. Circle maybe these 2, or if you know which one you want to do, and circle line, put P1, P2. So that will help you organize. So once I've got my 2 paragraphs decided, I need to think about what my reasons are. And it's really easy to explain that advertising agencies are very sophisticated and they manipulate people. This is something, how do I know about this and how does this make it easy for my exam? I read about this online. So I've read about Freud, I've seen Century of the Self documentary on Edward Bernays, who was Freud's cousin. There's Barnett from the UK in I believe it was the 19th century. There's the Paris soap story. So I've read about all of these things. So this makes it really easy for me to write this paragraph. I just need 1 or 2 reasons. So they are very sophisticated, easy. Now, is it positive or negative? Easy to show that it's negative. People should focus on family. Now, really I wrote here, people should focus on family, saving money, and self-development. But this is a should. That is not exactly actually going back and looking at this. And I didn't write this actually. So actually you have to, this is what I'm saying, you have to be very, very careful of what you decide to write in your paragraph. Because if I had written this, it's off point. Because the point they're asking you is this a negative or positive development? So if I say it's a negative development, I need to say what is negative. I don't need to say what people should be doing. Right? So I don't need in my paragraph to say, oh, it's bad, people should do something else. That's not the question. I need to say it's bad and I need to explain why. Super huge point. That's 25% of your mark, task achievement. And this is where people go wrong. And look, even as a native speaker, I did it myself. You really need to practice being very, very careful with how you're responding. So what are the negative developments? Stick around and I will show you how this answer should be done properly. So first of all, now that I've got these two ideas, these two paragraphs, these two ideas go into the introduction. So really I can relax because I know I can answer the question and I know the organization of my essay, and now I just need to sit down and write it. So these two ideas go in the introduction. So I need a first sentence just to explain what's going on. Throughout the 21st centuries, advertisers have employed increasingly sophisticated methods of convincing people to buy things. This essay will discuss the reason why people choose brand names and suggest that focusing on family and saving money should take precedence. Now, this essay will discuss the reason why people choose brand names, right? Easy. That's what it asked me to do. So I'm telling the examiner with this that I'm going to do what you told me to do and suggest that focusing on family saving money should take precedence. Actually, now I'm going back and looking at this essay, I didn't actually write this. So what do you do in this case? If I was doing the exam, sitting down and writing it, I would scratch this out. I would put a line through it and I would change for what I wrote in my paragraph, which you'll see in a minute. So again, you have to be very careful. So here's the two ideas. They're in the essay. This is the point of what you should be doing. And this just introduces the background, right? It's not a paraphrase because it just looks stupid to paraphrase what they wrote. They're just writing to make you write, and you should write the background for your essay. That is what happens in all academic essays, IELTS, TOEFL, university, whatever. Topic sentence here is the background of the essay, not the paraphrase of the question. Okay? I've been very, very successful with all my students doing this. It's a great method. Now, I said before I was going to tell you how to fully extend. This is only short. This is one sentence. Usually I see students give me like 2 or 3 more lines here. You need those 2 or 3 more lines, those words, to fully explain your ideas. That's how you get your task achievement mark. So, actually, let me go back to the introduction. There's a couple more things in there for you. One is sophisticated methods. Super phrase to use for a lot of different areas where you're talking about ways of doing things. Could be in education, could be in technology. Discuss branding. Take precedence means precede, should be first. That word is precede up to there. So take precedence, good band 9 language, this stuff. Okay. Increasingly sophisticated as well. Look, we've thrown in a adverb there. So here's the reason. Advertisers have been manipulating our emotions since the 1800s, and recently mobile phones have allowed them to invade very personal areas of our lives. Okay, so here's the background, and here's what's going on now. This is what this sentence does. This has allowed them to not only send us messages about big brands, but to keep careful data on what we think, say, and do. Online media is carefully orchestrated, a great phrase for you to use in any essay, like orchestra. So as a verb, orchestrated, carefully orchestrated, you can use in lots of different essays, to show us a combination of a desirable lifestyle and the big brands our data suggests we would like. Further, social media companies encourage people to post pictures of themselves with top brands, suggesting that their lives are fulfilled and complete. As a result, people aim to obtain the most expensive products the big brands have to offer. Okay, so the results phrase you can use in any essay. And the reason I say as a result, because I'm saying that's the reason. That's this as the result. This is the reason. This whole thing as a result is, so all this happens and the result is this, obtaining expensive products. And this shows the examiner that I am showing the reasons. So the second paragraph, I've chosen negative development. Now remember, we were looking at this, should focus on family. All of this focus on now, what I did was all of this focus, I referred back to the last paragraph. This is called back referencing. So this will help you with your cohesion and coherence mark. So in your second paragraph, reference the first paragraph. All of this focus on brand attainment has led to a number of negative consequences, including tying one's identity to an online image, alienation, and from family and depression. So here are the negative developments. I'm not saying people should focus on family, saving money, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying a number of negative consequences. Negative development, negative consequences. Then use the word including, the gerund, tying one's identity to an online image, alienation from family and depression, particularly in young people. Okay, those are 3 of the negative developments that have gone on. These are all negative developments for the younger generation. A good example of this is the social media influencer. A number of young people have Instagram accounts with millions of followers, and they rely on them for their income, but more dangerously, their identity. When the Instagram account is shut down by Facebook, they have been left destitute and depressed, which is a poor state of affairs. So this paragraph shows that this is a negative development. Again, what I really think you should do, one nice tip for you is before you write this paragraph, go back and double check the question. And then after the paragraph, go back and double check the question. Because if you were stuck, let's say I wrote the whole paragraph on people should focus on family, saving money, and self-development. And at the end, they said, oh no, that's not what they're asking me. They're asking me what's negative about it. I can add words here. And remember in the introduction, I said keep it short. There's no extra marks in the introduction for rambling on. People write too much. So I would have space and time here to say, the result of all of these not doing these things is negative, da, 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 da. So at least I said them. You know, I can condense these ideas into 1 or 2 sentences to catch this, make sure I answer it. I probably wouldn't get a high mark for doing that, but at least I would catch it. So at the end of the paragraph, go back and read the question. Make sure you're clear on what this means. What is negative development and have I shown that? You have to ask yourself. Okay, so you have to be self-critical. And then as a conclusion, easy peasy, in conclusion, while purchasing top brands offers instant gratification and perhaps some kudos from a particular fan base, either online or in person, ultimately it has led to an unrealistic view of the world, depression, and financial ruin. So comment below with your essay questions. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that is useful for you. You can follow my format and get a really high mark, no problem. Like the video, subscribe for more in the series. If you go to ispenglish.com, I have an IELTS course. I check all of your essays for you, and what else do I do there? So you sign up for the course, you get all of the essay feedback that you need before your exam, as much as you need. And there's also a blog here for you to follow lots of information. Okay, thank you very much, and good luck on your exam.